In the previous video, we talked about what debt and credit are, and more importantly, how these two aspects are crucial for our economy. But is there only one type of debt? Are we really sure that asking money for a holiday is like asking them for a house? Let's see in this video what are the two main differences between the two types of debts, and more importantly, what we need to be careful of when asking for loans, or when we use a credit card. Hey, it's Dario and this is Divity Finance, a platform where we can share our best tips and tools when it comes to trading, investing or finance in general. And if you love the subject, please consider subscribing. During our lives, sooner or later, we will certainly ask for credit to the bank. Many people do it every day by using the well-known credit card. But are we really sure that using the credit card is the same as expanding our own business? It becomes a necessity then to make a good distinction between the two types of debts, so that we can understand them and we can take more aware decisions. Moreover, this is just one of the many concepts that we are going to discuss about in this video series, so that we'll be able to be aware of how the modern economy works and therefore be more financially independent. So, if you haven't done it already, I would highly suggest that you subscribe immediately to the channel so that you can always be up to date whenever I post a new content. The first type of debt is probably the most common. It's the one that we do for a non-investment perspective. We can think about the car, for example, about holidays, or even more commonly about the credit card. The credit card is actually a really good example for this type of debt. In this case, we can use the money that the bank gives to us however we want, for any reason, to buy some bread, to buy a bike, to buy a ticket for the train, but we will probably go in more detail talking about credit cards in a later video. Nonetheless, as we can understand, this type of debt has no investment value, therefore it cannot generate wealth. So in this case we need to be really careful. If we ask money that at this moment we don't have, or that in the nearest future we know that we will not have, we have a too big of a loan. We will therefore need so much time to pay off our debt, and the interest will accumulate and we will never be able to pay back the loan. It is therefore crucial to understand if we are going to be able to pay off our debts, and if we cannot repay that dream car, it's probably for the best if we just wait a little bit until we will be wealthier. The second type of debt is the one that we have for an investment perspective, or more in general that we have to buy something that will increase in value as the time passes by. For example, we can think about a loan that we ask to buy a house, the so-called mortgage. We can actually think about a house as a true investment. That's because the latter, in the long run, will probably increase its value. Another example is a company that wants to expand. The company can go to the bank and ask for credit, and therefore have a debt to expand its commercial activities. By doing this, the company will increase its wealth, and at the end, it will be able to repay the debt with the money generated with the debt. The difference between the two types is enormous. For the first type, we use credit to buy things that after being bought will lose a good portion, if not entirely, their value. So if we have a debt that is bigger than what we can actually afford, it will not even be possible to resell the things that we bought to cover the debt with the bank. With the second type of debt though, we bought things that normally will not lose value, and in many cases will actually generate it. This way we will have two advantages in respect to the first type. If for any reason we will not be able to repay the debt, we will have the chance to pay it back by selling what we bought. That is said, will probably keep its value. The second advantage for a company, for instance, is that if the investment goes well, it will be able to pay off the loan with the wealth created with the credit. Therefore, we can say that the debt has been repaid by itself. Of course, even for the second type, things could go wrong. We are still making assumptions on the future, which is uncertain by definition. Therefore, it is still necessary to be careful and understand what is the limit, but nonetheless, we can afford to have bigger loans that maybe in the nearest future we would not be able to pay off, but in the long run, yes. It is pretty common to hear about people that asked for a loan to go on a holiday that they couldn't afford. So I hope that this video has been helpful for you to understand the importance of knowing what type of debt we are asking for and then asking ourselves if we will be able to repay the debt or not. And if the answer is not, then it's necessary to ask ourselves if the loan will generate wealth. If the conclusion is that we will not be able to repay the debt in a short amount of time and it will not generate wealth, maybe the best option that we have is to wait until we are a little bit wealthier. In the next video we will discuss about why the central bank needs to control the money in the economy and the interest rates. So, if you haven't done it already, I would highly suggest that you subscribe immediately to the channel so that you can always be up to date whenever I post new content. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave it a like. This is one of the few ways that I have to see if you like the videos and therefore keep posting. Nonetheless, I will see you in the next video.